Hello everyone, welcome back. This video lecture for class 8 subject science and chapter number 4, that is metals and non-metals. This chapter we have already discussed about that there are two types of elements, that are metals and non-metals. But among of different types of metals, there are some metals which are generally rusted. For example, iron, copper, silver, aluminium are the metals which get rusted, right? And after rusting, their color is also changed. Like iron will change into brownish color. Silver, it will turn into black in color, copper in green, and aluminum in dull layer. Okay, so before understanding today's topic, that we are going to study about air and water are required for rusting of the iron. So to understand this topic, first of all we should know what is rusting. What do you mean by rust? Okay, so rusting, what is rusting? We can say if a piece of iron left in the open for some time, it acquires a film of brownish substance. This substance is called rust. As we just now talked about, that color of the rust, iron will change into brown in color. So this brownish substance, that is nothing, only it is, that is rust. Fine. So by chemically we are rust is the, we are writing in equation form, right? Fe. So the process by which rust is formed on an iron object is called rusting. For rusting, the presence of moisture, that means water vapor, and oxygen, that means O2, that are essential. Fine. So we can say there are the two conditions for rusting. That first is the presence of moisture, that means water vapor, that means H2O, and oxygen, that means O2. Okay, so by these by with the help of these compounds, rusting process will be completed. So to understand this in equation form, we can say, right, like if iron, that means Fe will be react with O2 plus H2O, then it will turn into FeO, Fe2O3. The compound which we will get after the process of rusting, that is iron oxide, that means Fe2O3. Fine. So if you will ask in the exam that what is the formula of the rusting, that we can say that is iron oxide, that means Fe2O3. So iron will react with oxygen and hydrogen, and in chemical information we are writing by this way. Okay, so this is the process of rusting. Now to understand how air and water are essential, are required for iron, we are performing an activity. First of all, to perform this activity, the material required, that three test tubes are seeing in this figure, right? In this figure you are able to see there are three test tubes. Then iron nails are required, oil, calcium chloride, this many things are required. Then boil water and tap water also is there. So first of all, what we have to do to understand this method, first we have go through by the theory of this topic. When metals are exposed to atmospheric condition, they react with air environment to form undesirable compound, right? This process is called corrosion. That means कोई भी metal like iron, aluminum, that as already I talked about, that there are the some metals which are react with air and water, जो atmospheric air water environment से react करके they will turn, it will all turn in oxides. Okay, so this is called rusting. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to take three test tubes and we will give the name like test tube A, B and C. Fine. In test tube A, what we have to put? We have to put iron nails. आयरन नेल्स तो हमें तीनों ही टेस्ट ट्यूब में डाल देने हैं पहले से। आयरन नेल्स एज यू सी, आयरन नेल्स आर ऑलरेडी वी आर keeping putting in these three test tubes. After then, in first test tube we have to put boiled water. Fine, we have to put boiled water, and to remove the dissolved air in boiled water we add oil. What we have to add? We have to add oil in we have to add oil in test tube A. Fine, and with boiled water. Which type of water? Boiled water. और boiled water से हमें बॉइल्ड वाटर से हमें एयर को रिमूव करने के लिए हमने क्या डाला? ऑयल. फ्यू ड्रॉप्स ऑफ द ऑयल. नाउ कम टू द टेस्ट ट्यूब बी वेयर ऑलरेडी नेल्स वर कैप्ट, है ना. नेल्स तो हमने ऑलरेडी उसमें डाल के रखे थे. नाउ वी आर पुटिंग टैप वाटर. टैप वाटर इन टेस्ट ट्यूब बी. टेस्ट ट्यूब बी में हमें टैप वाटर डाल रहे हैं, उसमें हमने बॉइल्ड वाटर को मिक्स नहीं किया. नाउ अगेन कॉर्क इट बाय covering the test tube. Next, in test tube 3 we have to put some calcium chloride. कैल्शियम क्लोराइड जैसे ही आपने उसके अंदर रखा टेस्ट ट्यूब में, एंड देन यू हैव टू अगेन कॉर्क इट. दैट मीन्स तीनों के तीनों टेस्ट ट्यूब को हमने कॉर्क से पैक कर लिया. फर्स्ट टेस्ट ट्यूब, इन फर्स्ट टेस्ट ट्यूब वी हैव पुट like boiled water. In second test tube we put tap water, and in third test tube we are putting calcium chloride with nails. Okay, now for a few days we are keeping these three test tube, and after few days we will observe that in test tube A iron nails does not रस्ट. इस टेस्ट ट्यूब में नेल्स को रस्ट नहीं लगा. क्यों नहीं लगा? क्या रीज़न था? बिकॉज ऑयल ड्रॉप्स वर ऑलरेडी देयर, दे वर डिजॉल्व टू ऑब्जर्व द एयर. ओके, उन्होंने उस ऑयल ड्रॉप्स ने क्या किया? ऑयल एयर को जो डिजॉल्व ऑलरेडी वाटर में थी उस ऑयल एयर को ऑब्जर्व कर लिया, जिसके कारण वहाँ पे एयर पहुँच नहीं पाई. दैट मीन्स अगर दोनों कंडीशन होगी, एड hydrogen and oxygen, if both conditions will be present in rusting process, only at the time rusting process will be complete, right? So nails तो आयरन के हैं लेकिन इसमें एयर पहुंच नहीं पाई, सो ये वाले नेल्स को रस्ट नहीं लगा. बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट टेस्ट ट्यूब बी, दीज नेल्स विल बी रस्टेड. ये वाले नेल्स रस्टेड हो गया. क्यों हो पाए? बिकॉज air and water both were present in this test tube. Okay, again if we talk about test tube 3, that type of nails in test tube 3 nails will not be rusted because क्यों नहीं टेस्ट ट्यूब 3 में नेल्स को रस्ट क्यों नहीं लगा? बिकॉज कैल्शियम क्लोराइड वॉज ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट देयर. एंड वॉट is the work of calcium chloride? It absorb the moisture from the air. उसने air को absorb कर लिया, right? So we can say in test tube A and C nails will not rusted because in both of the test tubes moisture from the air was already absorbed. In test tube A it was absorbed by the oil drops, and in test tube C it was absorbed with the calcium chloride. But in test tube B there was already only tap water was there, so already air and moisture H2O plus O2 both were present in test tube B. So due to these presence of the H2O and O2, nails will be rusted. Fine. So we can conclude that air and water both are necessary for rusting of the iron. So hope so you all have understood this topic. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.